Now, this time round, you don't straight away jump to the plan view to do your lighting. You need to do is first open back your lighting plan, or another word, it should be your ceiling plan. Okay, so ceiling plan, we need to create one view for that to hide. So if you want to have a view template, please, by all means. Okay, so because you have first story, second story, third story, so things we need to hide.
So one
You
question.
notice that,
One question.
yes,
The power, we don't need a roof.
power no need.
Okay.
You don't want to put power on rooftop, right?
Yeah, just asking.
Yeah lah. Unless your rooftop is a flat roof lah. Like Singapore, maybe flat roof lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you need to have maybe observe sky lah. If you like star glazing, that is good. If not, then I don't think so. We need the roof to be I mean, this is any time when we need just duplicate lah. But meantime,
Okay.
I don't think so. So no worries. So we have electrical ceiling. Of course, we have here. So ceiling, it goes to lighting. See? Okay. Yeah. So power, normally you can see power no ceiling. Only lighting plan got ceiling. So we can use our ceiling here. But again, customize. As per normal, no change. Discipline, all this you can change. VG override, check. This one, this one, this one. Sometimes I know you can think that this is very annoying by keep toggling all this setting. But no choice, This is what the setting is meant to be. For MEP, this is what normally you guys will encounter. Yeah, you don't do model, but you are managing the view because you have 7 sub discipline. So no choice. Okay, so here we're going to go to our halftone by host view, custom, and same thing applies. Parking, planting, roads, people. I already unchecked site now. Lastly, topo. Annotation category is your grid line. So remember, off your grids. Apply, okay, apply, okay. See, a lot more cleaner. Okay. As for your grid here, you can temporarily hide it, or you can just type VG of your own grid line, which is under annotation category. Right? Not ring Revit is ours. Okay. You want a temporary or you want a permanent? Don't say permanent lah. That means managed by here. So grid. Now it's gone. Don't eager to crop your view yet. I know that this is the view as second story, so-called your library. We do our mechanical, correct? So, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you need to do is to link, which one? Your mechanical. That's why I say initially your mechanical design is primary, means you got to change one. Why? Because we don't want your air terminal to be clash with your lighting. So we need to link your file here. So D drive, your class, go to April semester, look for mechanical HVAC, highlight your mechanical file.
So where
Okay,
to bring the thing?
sorry,
Repeat again. Insert.
Insert.
insert
Oh,
lah,
okay.
insert
Okay.
import link ah, yeah.
But sir, we choose our one or the one that we submitted.
The one you submit lah, because at the same time, if you discover the error, you can change. They can submit one more time ah. That's the reason why I say that one.
But sir, but we submitted two files, right? So for
Which two
now,
files?
like one is level 1, then one is level 2.
Why two files? It's all one project only what?
Yeah, it's like separate.
Huh?
Means I save as one. Now another one I save as
It's
another.
the same file, just that we
Yeah.
open different view.
Yeah, why you save as a two separate file, first and second? No, don't do that.
Oh, okay.
It's still one project file. It's just that you do it on your first story plan. The other one is on the second story. But your project is still single, one project file. Unless you submit together with your link file, which is the ARCHI, then total is two. Not first story, second story, or you do third story, that means three files. No, this is wrong. It should be one single project file only.
Alright, sir. Thanks.
Not multiple project. No, not like that. That's not the way. It must be only one single project. Excuse me. Hiccup. So later you know that there's an error there, then quickly go and redo on your single project, not multiple project file. No.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so my HVAC is this file. I'll select. The positioning should be the same. All right, then open. You'll notice there will be a warning after it's loaded. Yes, this is the warning. It's telling me that your this electrical already have this link file, and your HVAC also have the links file. So this thing here says, okay, since your electrical have this link file already, the one with the HVAC will not be loaded. So that's what I mean. So just click close. This is a warning, not an error. So don't confuse. Excuse me. Okay. So remember, see now it appear. See that? So now you can crop this view, unless you want to see this view lah. So now what I'm going to do, you go to your VG. Okay, because in my ceiling plan here, I should only see my air terminal, the return, or and the supply, not the flex duct, fixed duct, and the mechanical equipment. No. So VG. If let's say, excuse me, you have multiple plans or ceiling plan to adjust, then you can customize under your ceiling itself, because it's part of the link Revit. Okay, it's part of link Revit. Monday blues, yeah. Okay, so you go to VG overrides RVT link. You see there's two link file. One is your mechanical assignment. That's why sometimes I prefer the naming not called assignment one. It's hvac. Is at least you know it's a hvac file. It's better that way. So we go to halftone by custom one more time. Now, model category host view change to custom. This step everyone clear or you want me to repeat?
Clear.
Clear, huh?
Yes, sir.
And sorry.
Yes, clear.
Okay, then you turn on your air terminal, which is this. All right. You scroll down, look for the ducting, make sure it's off. Okay, as ceiling, luckily it's off. The mechanical equipment. Mechanical M is also off.
So you can filter by mechanical, right? Is it easier?
Which one?
Like you know the filter list, we can select mechanical first.
This one,
Yeah.
This is only show the thing here. That's
Oh.
all. But we still got to choose which other thing we don't want,
Yeah.
Ah,
But lesser thing to choose from.
that doesn't matter lah. There's no right or wrong. It's okay. It's just an important thing. You don't want to see the thing that's not to be there. You see. Yeah. Then I need to hide the grid line also, which is although not there lah, but I would still like to hide. Don't worry. Judge, it's okay. Oh, as long as you guys know how to adjust, it's good. See, so when I apply, your view should look like this. Vina, you compare your view and my view, your tutorial file, the way you place, this is not roughly in the center. See or not? Now understand why I say that? Because all these adjustment is very important. Is the aircon coverage. All right, the air. Okay, yeah. So these are things that we got to be sure. If not, people complain certain area will be very cold, certain area will be pretty warm. At least we try to, this area is cold, at least whole area. Here, warm at daytime because this is glass, so no choice. Normally it'll be warm, but not kind of super hot kind of thing lah. Nighttime, all temperature surround will be the same because the return is here, it draws the aircon back. So these are things we need to understand, at least for basic understanding. Yeah. Okay. So this is the thing we have now. Now, the next thing is to place our lighting fixture. So lighting fixture is under system, electrical. All right. Now, because here I did not create a plenum level. If you want, you may want to create a plenum level. Then if a plenum level, you may want to add conduit or you want to add cable tray. But because here we have a ceiling, you only add conduit unless it's like your first story. Although here there's a ceiling, but you can add cable tray. Because I said before, first story, there's no ceiling. This ceiling is just like a marker to tell what's the height. For that purpose only. Yeah. Okay. My ceiling sounds like Siri in to Apple. Keep responding. Oh my goodness. Did I say Siri or ceiling?
Ceiling.
Ceiling, right?
Ceiling.
my Apple device is crazy lah. Always ding ding. I thought what's happening. Yeah. Okay, so remember, so we want your lighting fixture. Now, here is your lighting fixtures. That's the defaults. The device here is for your telecommunication and some other thing. Of course, your lighting is your switches, your fire, your data, your communication, right? Security, your nurse, all these are your telecommunication. Remember, one of the sub-discipline. Your power is under electrical fixture. So you guys must be sure what you are inserting. Okay? Questions?
Nope. No, sir.
No, good. So electrical equipment is where your distribution panel, or they call it distribution board DB. All right, so this is the one. Now, first thing we want to, call in our lighting fixture. And of course, by default, when you look at your lighting fixtures, when you see the command, it says place on vertical face, place on plane. That means these are hosted lighting fixture. If you don't see these three things appear, normally it's non-host. So in other words, if you guys later place lighting fixtures in the open ceiling, like your first story, it will be very challenging. So we'll do together, see what our library we can have. So when you're doing this, to ensure that you must turn on your 3D view. Don't just by doing in the plan. And so does the elevation also. So be careful. Okay. But because now we have a ceiling, and you notice that this particular lighting features is not suitable for this style of ceiling. This is suitable for ceiling like if you go to your lab tower 2 or lab, it's not block 2 or block 2, block B or block C, which is their ceiling is kind of compound seal one, which is no grid. Then these are the lighting fixtures are for that. Because this commercial type is kind of quite traditional type, conventional method, conventional ceiling. So the lighting fixtures is not loaded here. So you guys need to load family. So you load family. Okay, you're gonna look for the one says, hold on now, why my display so weird? Okay, so you look for the one says lighting MEP. Okay, internal, scroll down, look for the one says recessed parabolic. Okay, this is the one. This is the traditional type of ceiling for this type of ceiling grid, which is the size is 600 by 600. Okay, recess means is partially, not say partial, is inside normally the ceiling. For level 1, you can't use anything that is here. Surface means can see, so could be maybe later one of these. We'll take a look later. Okay, but meantime, for those with ceiling with this type, we are using this metric recess parabolic light. So select this, open. Okay, so load it into your system here. Okay. Questions?
No, sir.
Okay. The next thing before we place. All right, this is something which is important for lighting. Although might not be used locally, but I would say that it's very useful because you know that this room is library. So library normally the surrounding lighting is not that bright. In other words, you need to create the kind of ambience, the atmosphere that you feel like you want to study in library. So normally, separate study table for students, they wear separate lighting. This is where lighting for the surrounding. So normally it's not that bright. When I say not that bright in the sense that able to let you see things, look for your notes or look for the library books, but not that kind of super bright thing, which like you're having a tutorial class, which is pretty bright, that type of atmosphere. It should be those kind of cozy kind of feeling. So in other words, the lux requirement for this will be different. Okay, so here I want to share with you guys how they use this to do calculation. So that what type of lux requirement required. Then you can know how many tau or what type of light size length required. Okay, so ready?
Yes, sir.
So first thing, what should you do? Select your second story, right click, duplicate, right? Okay, if you're not sure, hold on. You know the document from your course here, design lighting fixture. I want you guys to download this, modeling an electrical system, because this thing here, they actually show you all those lighting stuff, which is I was thinking, should I highlight to you or not? This is when you prepare a calculation. All right, then you need to take note all this. You want to know this
Yes,
or just to model only?
want to know this.
Okay, now let me enlarge the size for this. So you notice that this area, it says specify electrical setting. In other words, if this so-called tools is enabled to be used in Singapore. In other words, an engineer can base on this to plan the whole building. What is the power requirement? What type of cable size required and so on. Because you can see that you guys are ME. You can set what type of collection factor, the panel, the wiring size, the temperature based on the requirement and the usage. You see, now what are wire to be used? All these things is just example for this project, but in real world, if you are able to get the source for all this information, you can customize. All right. It's just that meantime, I would say in Singapore, because of the family and the power, what kind of computation, currently I would say that not many people are doing that, because you could have built the library, set up the system to localize is for Singapore use. All right. So I only discovered this part, which is called the define required lighting, which is suitable for Singapore to use. I will say that, so that you can plan in my model what is the size of my what do you call it, the length of the fluorescent lamp, 2 feet by 2 feet or 4 feet by 2 feet, to suit the lux requirement. Okay, so this part here, I will show you where is it. Okay, a quick one, which is under your electrical, this button here. See ES, electrical setting. So it look like this. Okay. So you see from here, this is the general wiring, which is like the connector, separator, how they interpret and so the formula. These are the so-called terms lah they use here. But I don't know, is it internationally apply or just for US or for outside here? I think this one we got to double check with the electrical engineer whether Singapore will use something similar now. Yeah. Angles, of course, is for your conduit lah, for your cable tray lah, how you bend, turn here and there. You can have your control. The wiring, which is in Singapore, we use single phase, three phase, and your hot wire, your ground wire, your neutral. That means you will see there's an arc later you generate, you see the straight line. Okay. Then that three line thing is called a tick mark. If here did not show, that means it will not appear. All right. All these are information which is data can be extracted. Okay. And of course, whatever you see here, I don't know, sometimes is it, you guys understand so far?
Yep.
Whether in the actual circuitry, do we use something like this or not?
Half hour.
So I did,
A bit.
a bit, okay. Better than nothing, right? Wire size, how you add a different ampere for the wire you want. And what type of wire? Aluminium, copper, or lead. In US, I think they still use lead, but that was olden days lah. Nowadays, I don't think they use lead. Singapore, I think we use copper, but if copper, they have different type of temperature. All right. So Singapore, if you need that type of different cable or wiring, you need to get from a source from the catalog. Then all this data can be created. Okay, because currently this is given by the US, which is might not be used here lah. I don't know. You guys got to check it out. Then every wire there's a correction factor, so you can see an input, which are the temperature usage, because Singapore's always summer, so our heat up, I mean the heating is actually quite dangerous, right? Especially recently, all those PDM charging explode, caught fire kind of thing. A lot of cases because of all this temperature. Ground conductor, your earthing, right? Yeah. So same thing here. Wiring type, you can configure what type of wire. All right. All these names, seriously, I don't know. You got to search from the web or catalog. These are the different type of cable to be used as per their country lah. All right. So you can configure the material with the information here. See insulation, the size, and so on. Yeah. Voltage definition. So Singapore, we are using 20 by 820 220 to 240. Default is 230. So here you can create and what type of value here. Then the minimum and the maximum. All right. So minimum is 220, maximum is 240. So the default should be 230. And the value 230 volt. This distribution system. See here, this is the Americans, not ours here. So all this can be created. If you're able to generate this to suit locally, then probably we can use this in Singapore. But I tried to do sometime, I can't generate the thing we want. Okay, so I found it a bit of setback unless I got to really, or you guys let me know, then see whether how can we create to suit local. We can
Alright.
discuss and look into it. Huh?
Yep.
Cable tray is here. So these are the things that for the cable tray. So rise, drop, what is the stacks lah, you know, single line symbology. It means if you set this to cause how this cable tray will look like, then how the drop will look like. Because all this can be defined lah. See, all this symbol. But I was thinking, is it to localize or not? So you guys got to double check. Okay, because I seldom do this model. So 2-line or single line. Then the size, you can create out cable tray size. You can add new size anytime. Huh? Same thing for the conduit. What are the rise, drop, and the size of the conduit? All right. So they have a flex conduit, right? This is normally for concealed ceiling. We are using those style of flex conduit, not this style conduit, which is rectangular. Yeah. Load calculation. This is as I said lah. If you are doing it for your whole area, that means if you have a condo compound, what is your power loading requirement? This is the one that you got to define. All right. Then this is your panel. Because how you define this loading is you when they do a modeler, they do for whole block. So all this block, if you apply with the so-called the requirements of the supply usage, then you sum up all these power usage, all the block, then you got to compute on the loading factor. All right, you can't estimate. You still need to model out the thing first, then you take as per room if the design normally the same and the loading. And by the way, you could calculate plus minus ma. See now? Yeah. Okay, so this is more on this lah. So I'm not good at the overall. This is I'm not a electrical PE. Right. So but explanation I can tell you up to here. Okay. Yeah. So meantime, we know that this is the room. Did I download? I think I did, right? Okay. So here, what we need to do is to create this perimeter lighting for our lighting calculation. So if you can open two screen, that will be good. If not, you follow me on my screen, how I do this. Okay. So let me move it aside. So don't block my screen here. Hold on. Let me adjust it. I know it's a bit of time consuming, just got to bear with me. This is something that you may want to learn on some or how schedule can be performed this way. So what actually they try to do is how we determine the lux requirement for that room. It's actually the space we tag in the mechanical. Remember how we do that? Highlight your second story, right click, duplicate as with detailing. Okay, then you rename this as lighting space. It means you space calculation or lighting calculation. I call it as a space because I'm going to tag a space there as our area to calculate the lux requirement. You guys are following me now? Right now?
Yes, sir.
So from here, this one, I will shift it out, not for lighting. That means is a space requirement. So in other words, I'm not going to use any lighting plan. I set it none. Then I set it to sub-discipline space. You see that you move up to space, but it goes to power. No, it's still electrical. All right, because this one can be shared for power and lighting. So, but it's mainly for space. So here, this is the level we need. Correct. I'm going to go to the analyze, select space. Now, before you tag, remember, this guy got a ceiling, but because we did not create the plenum level, correct? So if we didn't create plenum level, then I can't have a upper story. See that? If I have plenum level, that means I will have a level 2 plenum. See or not? So what I'm trying to show you here is this method now, like you're doing, can be similar for your first story, which is there's no ceiling, but you're telling them, okay, since I don't have a plenum, I'll still select second story, but the offset is only up to 2600. You guys get what I mean? No? That means
Yes.
from my base is 0, my limit here is the same. See, up to 26. It's exactly plenum level. So in other words, if you do for your first story lighting, you're doing the calculations, same thing, you got to tag like this. If you have a plenum, then different. This one is 0 because you stop at the plenum level, which is exactly 26 also. Yeah. Now we stack. See, it can't. What happened? Anyone knows? I can't tag the space. Why? Anyone can tell me? Forget it.
idea.
Because of what? What did I say previously when we're doing the mechanical aircon? If we need to perform calculation, what's supposed to be turned on? Forgotten now. Never mind. Cancel modified first. Select your model. Remember, I repeat again, if you are going to use for calculation in future, or space planning and so on, or zoning counting, you need to every time select, when you link the link archive file, you must enable the room bounding. Don't forget. Okay, you forget, you can't do so-called perform any calculation. So remember that. All right. So apply and okay. Now you see what happened if you clear your selection space. Second story, offset is 26. Now you see that you're able to tag now. So if you are doing your assignment, all right, you do 2 plan, right? One is at first, one is at second, or one is at first, one is at third. You can tag this and create a view. Okay, yeah. So for my case, when I tag this, you know that this is library, right? As I said before, And we do that before in HVAC. So here should be library. And the numbers should be also follow the ARCHI 219, and you're done. Okay, like this. If you guys prefer to add a planner, I'm okay. It's up to you. Just I show you different method of approach. Okay, so once your space is done, then we can do some calculation. Okay, ready? All good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The first thing we need to do is to create a parameter for this room lighting requirement, which is default. It doesn't come as it is. You got to create one. So we need to go to manage under the setting panel. Go to project parameters, which is you see sub discipline here, right? Which is normal. Add. Okay, select.
After manage is which one?
Hmm?
Manage after which one?
Project manager. This one, manage, then
Okay.
setting, then project parameter.
Okay, can.
Yeah. So you see this project parameter, you select add. Okay, like this. So the name for the requirements is called required lighting level. It means you are setting this parameter for every room, which is can be used for every room. What's the required lighting level? Okay, you're planning a calculation for that. Then of course it's mainly for who to use for electrical, not any other stuff. Okay, so the discipline is electrical. The type of parameter, because you are measuring the brightness, means the lux requirement. So lux requirement, the units is called illuminance, not luminance, not luminous flux, no, it's illuminance. ILLUMINANCE. You click wrongly later on, whole thing will not work. So it's illuminance, and I want to place this under here group parameter. Group parameter means referring to say this parameter where you want to put it here. So here they want to place it under lighting. Lighting what? Electrical lighting. This one. Okay. And of course, instant means what? You can change as required. Means room brightness is supposed to be independent, individual, not as a type standard, no. Okay, lastly, how they do the measurement, they base on space. So here, you got to attach to your, to what? Space, right? Nah, where's my space? Check on space. Okay. So far so good?
Yes, sir.
So double check, required lighting level, discipline is electrical, type of illuminance is illuminance, to be appeared at electrical lighting, then instant, then space. Then click OK. All right, so we created required lighting level. I pick OK. All right. So you created one parametrical required lighting level. Now, based on your notes, we already create a space which is here. All right, that means if you are looking at this, it's just now what we have done. Okay, next is here. You need to create the parameter required for each individual rooms. What is their required lighting for that? Now here, below there's a list, which is based on the US lah. So you take this as example. So this data, let's say the room that you guys choose for different use in your this assignment. For my case, let's say the tutorial is library. So library, the lux is 540 lux. The units for that is LX. All right, which is we select them as illuminance. So how to create this table out? This is what we're going to do now. Okay, so zoom up. It says create a schedule for required lighting. So where can I get the schedule? For MAP, normally we get the schedule from analyze, and it says here, schedule oblique quantity. Sometimes you may want to get this schedule from the view template, which is here. It's the same. All right, it's the same. Okay, so get the tools out. It looks like this. So you want to create a schedule based on space. So we scroll down. Space is the one. All right. Remember just now when we create the required lighting level, it's based on space to perform the calculation. So they must use back the same. So the name here, we call them as space lighting requirement. Okay. Now, because the data is manually input, so what we create here, you need to select schedule key. Schedule key means what? The information you type in yourself. Normally, if you are doing quantity count, we select schedule building component. So all this data will be based on the model itself. But because this in detail here is manual input one. So manual input, you got to customize based on schedule key. And the name here called lighting level, which is referred as all these are your lighting level that you need. Okay. Yeah. And later you'll see that this lighting level will appear in your schedule under electrical lighting, which is just now we have just created this. Remember? So you know, electrical lighting. All these are linked. Later you'll see. So try to understand or digest it. Okay.
So why
So
my schedule key right is like I'm unable to click on it.
sorry,
Like it's gray in color, then you cannot click.
you select schedule key.
Yeah, you cannot press.
How come?
Like it's gray, it's grayish.
No, here do you select space?
Okay, wait, ah.
You need to select space first. Space, then name is space lighting requirement.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yep.
So here, same thing lah. Your schedule, you must look for the category first. So the category is space. Then by default you say space schedule lah, but we are not creating space schedule. We are creating the lighting requirement based on the space to perform the calculation. All right. So schedule key, I'll change this to lighting level. Means the lighting requirement lah, but just said they like to use different phrase to phrase it lah. Okay. All right. If okay, then you click OK. Now the next step is what you see this. So far in the notes, they never say anything. Just that ask you to click OK to finish it. Yeah, because currently nothing to go in depth yet, because it's manually input. What you see here is more like you're extracting data from the system, which is we don't have but now here they want us to select is what? It's called required lighting level. Yeah, which is the earlier the first parameter we create, required lighting level. So where is it? Required lighting level, which is here, this one. Double click. So you should have two: key names and required lighting level. Questions?
No.
The rest okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. After that, you just click OK. It should look something like this. See, like this. So it's similar like what you see in your notes. See, exactly the same. Just that the A/B thing, you can hide it if you don't need lah. So key names and required lighting level. Okay. So now we need to create the data here. How to add the data here? As I said, the library is 540 lux. All right, based on this table as a guide. So you guys, if anyone use cafeteria is here, is 215. Circulation, we are talking about the staircase area, the ramp area. These are called circulation. Computer means computer room, drafting room. Yeah. Conference means meeting. Instructions, I think more like those theory room, right? Which is quite small, but you need bright lights because you are reading text. Yeah. Then open office is actually like your low partition in an open area. That's what's called open office. So I think some of them you need to use from here. Yeah. Building services could be the corridor, I believe, because I'm not very sure in certain area. This is your restroom. This is the private office. That one also don't know. So sometimes you can render, not sure, then we can discuss. So it depends on when you guys do your mechanical, you do on which room. All these try to follow. Okay. So now I know that it's 540. I will go to insert data row. See? So it depends on you do how many room, and if they are different, then please add it in. So meantime, if you follow what I'm showing now, this assignment you do, you don't need to repeat this step because you can use it for your first story, second story, third story. You just need to do once. That's it. So here, I will type this as my library. Okay. Now library, the lux is 540. Just type 540. No need to type LX because it automatically insert. Now see this? It's done. Okay. Now here I'll pause your recording for a while. Hope that the rest can catch up before we continue next phrase. And the video, I think, is a bit too long also. So just